Hey Leo, how's it going? This is going to be your finance and career reading for May 2022. I'm telling you, I just did Cancer's reading and it took me forever to get to their energy because it was so stagnant, basically, because of the Mercury Retrograde. Now today is the official day for Mercury Retrograde. We have been in pre-shadow for several weeks. I'm pretty much going to say this in all my videos. For those of you Leos that get on Facebook and you look at the astrological memes that say, Mercury Retrograde is finally over. Understand that Mercury Retrograde has a pre-shadow phase and also a initial phase, which is the actual Mercury Retrograde phase, and it also has a post-shadow phase. Now the pre-shadow and post-shadow phase are the ones that are usually the most intense and extreme. Depending on if you were born during a Mercury Retrograde or not. If you're born during a Mercury Retrograde, it's almost like you're going back to normal. So I noticed that me personally, I was born during the Mercury Retrograde, so my abilities, poetry, writing, things like that really excel. Creativity really excels during those periods. Also, we are now in Pluto Retrograde. So Pluto Retrograde is known as the Destroyer. It's known as Hades in Greek astrology. So it is known as also the Destructor. So it is all about death and rebirth and transformation. It is the ruling planet for Scorpio, and it rules the 8th house in astrology, which is basically death and rebirth cycle. So a fun fact is, if you are interested in your near-death experiences or anything like that, if you get into astrology and you want to look at more of the dark side of the aspects, if you wonder what the experience of death or transition will be like for people, you can look at the 8th house and look at the sign and or planets that is in the 8th house, and that will tell you possibilities on how that person might pass, transition. Some people will be like, why do you want to know that? Well, a lot of people, that, especially with a lot of Scorpio and Pluto in their charts, would be very interested in that. So just to put that out there for you. So depending on, I'm going to do a video explaining Pluto Retrograde. Don't know if I'm really going to do all the signs, because the fact is Pluto Retrograde is, it's a very distant planet, and some people are not even calling it a planet anymore. It's been a planet, it's not a planet, they can't make up their mind. But the point is, although it does affect you and affects everyone very subtly, it takes a long time for the orbit, because as one of the farthest planets out there, if not the farthest as far as we know, and so that planet is, it takes a while to affect everybody. So the outer planets don't affect us, they do affect us, but we're not so much aware of them. And so it takes a long time for those, they basically stay in different signs for a very long time. Sometimes, 12 years, more than that actually, especially with Pluto. I think with Jupiter, like right now Jupiter is in Aries, so it hasn't been in Aries for 12 years. So it gives you an example. And as like when it comes to Mercury Retrograde, we have 3 to 4 Mercury Retrogrades every year, and that's because Mercury deals with communication, ideas, speed, and it actually has to slow down because the orbit is so fast around the sun that it has to slow down so people can catch up. So that's why when it's in retrograde, you'll notice a lot of people look at it as bad, but they don't realize it gives you an opportunity to go back and rekindle certain relationships. It gives you an opportunity to go back and look at different things. Actually, look, finish projects that you couldn't do at that back at a certain time, or it allows you to revisit certain cycles in your life. So everything in this universe is dualistic. So it's a positive and negative effect, not necessarily bad or good, just light and dark. So you have shadow aspects. You have just I'll explain more in other videos, but you would need, in order for you to understand more about the Pluto retrograde, you just need to do some research and look up do a natal chart reading and try to look up how that will affect you and what house that affects you in and how it would affect you right now, because you have what is called natal retrogrades, where that planet was at the time of your birth, and that would explain how it affects you throughout your life and throughout your journey. Okay, so Leo, again, I've been telling all the signs this. I appreciate your likes, shares, and subscribes, but I want you to know YouTube has a policy that you need to watch the video for at least 30 seconds before it even counts. So if you're liking it, if you're clicking like and then clicking on the video, or clicking video and clicking the video and then clicking like, it's not going to count. So you need to at least wait 30 seconds. I really appreciate you liking it, and it's like I've been telling all the other signs, if you stay with me, if you rise through the ranks, if you help me rise through the ranks, like it, get the video out there to other people, like, share, and subscribe, you're going to benefit in the future, because I will have giveaways. I will give everybody opportunities to do certain things. Basically, if you make it worth my while, then I'll make it worth your while. So everybody will have an opportunity, and as I get more comfortable doing these readings and things and classes, and I've got webinars I'm going to do, all kinds of different things. It's going to be a mixture of metaphysics, the readings or whatever is what I do in between. Also, if you want to book a personal reading with me, all that information is in the description box. And a message I also want to put out to anybody that does YouTube videos, something I found out. If you've seen some of the videos in YouTube that have chapters, the reason that they have chapters, like for any of you readers that watch me too, if you want to have chapters where you go down and you see the chapters like intro, and then instead of putting the timestamps in your comment box, you put it in your description box, and then that allows you to have chapters. So hopefully that helps some of you, and I will try to repeat that message in other videos so that you can actually benefit from that. So on with Leo's reading. So Leo, thank you for being patient. Hopefully that information was informative. Spirit, allow me to be a clear channel for Leo at this time for finance and career, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. What are the messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node in regards to career? The first card that comes out, career and finance, the first card that comes out is triumph and success. So that's off top, that's really good. And the fact is, the eclipse, the solar eclipse we just had was basically affecting the fixed signs more than anything. So it looks like that this is actually affecting you good, Leo. I also have a video on that if you want to go back and look in my videos. I did a all signs eclipse, so that might tell you more about your situation. But that's the first card to come out for you, so it seems like you're doing very well at this time with finance and career. I have a Leo rising, so I can say I'm doing pretty well. And that's number 1, so that's 1 for beginnings. Remember, it has the swords. That's basically, in a sense, that's like the Ace of Swords in traditional tarot. So with this card, just remember that sword is double-edged. So make sure you make the right choices and act with integrity and common sense and everything that goes along with that, because you can also cut yourself with the same sword you're using to cut through all the debris, and is allowing you to rise, to the top. What other messages does Leo need to know in regards to finance and career for May 2022? Moving on. So with that card, with that Triumph card, you might find yourself moving on from certain situations. So maybe you decide to move on from something you was doing that wasn't working. That could be one scenario. Moving on for certain people, people, places, and things that are holding you back. So whatever that means to you, that can be very hard to dial in, because this is a Leo collective reading. So like I said, it's not going to resonate with everyone. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. And the card with that is 6. So when it comes to 6, that could be moving on from certain people. To me, 6 represents physical, the physical. So sixth sense, not the sixth sense, but more like, to me, 6 is like the number of man. So in regards to the physical world, so you might be finding yourself moving on from physical things in this world, physical people, and then with that, by you doing that, it's going to basically increase your success, or your success in a way might keep, you might be more successful for moving on from people, but at the same time, your success might have caused you to move, something like that. So you moved on from certain things in your life. So moving on from someone that's not successful. It's however you want to look at it. Okay, Leo. So what are the other messages for Leo in regards to finance and career for May 2022? What other messages does Leo need to know in regards to finance and career? Obstacles and challenges. So perhaps what is happening here is that you are using this, you've had certain obstacles and challenges, so you're using that double-edged sword to cut away these obstacles and challenges, and that right there is basically going to lead to your success. Now, these obstacles and challenges can manifest in different ways that can manifest for like people that were in your way causing you problems, and so you decided during this period, during this eclipse season, you decide to kind of cut that out of your life. So that gives you new beginnings, and new decisions. So walking away from people, walking away from things that were no longer serving you, and so you cut the cords, you left that behind. That could be one message, one scenario for some of you Leos. Now, right here, the obstacles and challenges, it could be saying before you can get to that success, you've got to face some of those obstacles and challenges, or you're dealing with that. Now, with it being retrograde at this time, both Pluto and Mercury, you might find stagnation, you might find mishaps, things like that happening. There could be a lot of delays, things like that going on. So this could be causing you might be wanting to move on from the situation, and you can't because you got to jump these hurdles real quick. So just take your time and make sure you do that good, and then the end result's going to be this, the triumph and success, So make sure you use that sword wisely though. And let's see the number on that. So always look up the numerology. So 5 represents change. So at this time you're a fixed sign, Leo, but it can be hard for you to change. But at this time, change is calling. So you're gonna have to jump these hurdles, get over these obstacles, so change can come in. And it's just it's a choice. You're making a choice to move on from certain things. So what other messages does Leo need to know in regards to finance and career for May 2022? What other messages does Leo need to know in regards to finance and career for May 2022? What other messages does Leo need to know in regards to finance and career for May 2022? What other messages does Leo need to know in regards to finances and career May 2022? Alright, so 2 more cards popped out, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you what those are. So you got number 7, which is deception and envy. So pay attention, and also with the numbers, apply the numbers to years, months, hours, days, seconds, whatever resonates with you. But just for any of you, some of you Leos got green eyes, so I know some of you can be envious and deceptive. But just pay attention to anybody that has green eyes around you. Like your best friends. I see a lot of people around you that's got those eyes. Some of you have those eyes. So just make sure that you understand that jealousy, envy, all that will be your downfall. If this is you with this energy, most of it is not, but some of you do have this energy. If you are the type to have this energy, just know this is basically hating in the 3rd degree. So I'm telling you right now, this will do nothing for you. Be wary of people with green eyes. Green eyes are associated with that jealousy and envy. So make sure, just as my beautiful brown eyes, they are basically associated with the truth, honesty, and bluntness. So that's the truth, and I'm speaking it right now. But I promise I'm not arrogant. I'm just joking. Just kind of a little bit tired, but yeah, that was a joke. So hopefully some of y'all got it. But yeah, pay attention to this. People's eyes is basically, they will always tell you. A person can say whatever, and they can whisper sweet nothings into your ear and make you feel like $1 million. But just know, if they do that and you feel that way, you're being manipulated. You're being charmed. And it's funny because people look at like charming. They say, "Oh, he's so charming." Well, let me tell you, like, it's charm. To charm somebody is to cast a spell on them. So charm is it's derived from a French word, so it has to do with you're charming, like you're kind of like the the show about the witches, Charmed. Yeah, that's what that means. So be wary of people with green eyes that are charming. And if you're that person, just understand that type of energy, that negative energy, you need to do something to reconcile that energy within you, because it will just blow up in your face and will cause you a lifetime of unnecessary karma that you don't need. So, and then the other card with that is shadow. So a lot of you right now are dealing with your shadow self. So understand that, and also I'm getting at the same time, and you're trying to move on from all this, but these people that are jealous and envious of you are in the shadows. This is their shadow self, and now they refuse to work on this. And this could be your shadow self, Leo. So just make sure you kind of look at that. But Leos, it's common. I mean, it's very common for you because you're center stage. You're meant to be on the stage. So for the most of you, the ones that actually apply that and actually do it, for the most of you, yes, it's true. You're meant to be all up in the spotlight. just with my Leo rising, I can walk in places and I get, it's like I'm, being critiqued everywhere I go. So I can walk in places and get stares and looks and whatever, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but you can feel it. So it's like when you walk in there, it's like the sun comes out, in the clouds, and people can't help but to stare at you and things like that. So, but this could be a part of your shadow self, and it also could be these people are hiding in the shadows. They might be hidden to you. They might be in front of your face, but there's a shadow cast on them. It could be how you're looking at them. It could be part of the illusion. You might be casting an illusion. They might be casting illusion spells on you. But the point that I'm trying to make here, that I am making here, is that it's basically can be hidden, or it can be a part of, regardless, shadow deals with being hidden. So it could be a part of your shadow self, hidden, in the shadows, in the darkness. People smiling, fucking pretend like they're your friends, and then they're not, and they're fucking just hating on you. So it could be 7 friends, it could be people, it could be friends that's, 7 months older than you, 7 years older than you, you've known them for 7 years. It could be, let's see, 18, so 8 and 1 is 9, so that could be, it could be saying there's an ending coming to this, that this eclipse is basically part of the shadow, and it's going to, kind of basically illuminate. Once the eclipse energy is lifted, it's going to illuminate these people for you. You can see them right now. So if you're the Leo right now that's going through a lot of success and triumph and all this stuff, and you're dealing with the obstacles, it's basically saying you need to move on, figure out who these people are, move on from these people, because they're no good for you, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you heed my advice, and that's basically the messages I have for you for May 2022. I appreciate your likes, shares, and subscribes. Remember the 30-second rule, that you have to watch the video for 30 seconds before you like, otherwise you were just wasting your energy. Rise with me. And heed the messages and advice, and I promise you it will take you places. It definitely has taken me places. Again, I appreciate you very much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your month, and see you later. Thanks.